put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning.
And we are back here on Tobago Updates, Youth Wednesday. Today we are joined with Miss Annette Lewis, Communication Director and Youth Director of the Tobago Mission of Seventh-day Adventists, and also Mr. Wilfred DesVignes, who is the Field Secretary for the Tobago Mission of Seventh-day Adventists. This morning they'll be telling us a little bit about our upcoming convention on Sabbath 25th November 2023. They'll also be telling us a little bit about the Tobago Mission of S.D.A startup and how they progress to conference status, of course. Right? So we'll start with a very simple question. Sir DesVignes has briefed me on it a bit, but I want him to tell our viewers. How did the Tobago Mission of S.D.A start? Could you tell us a little bit about the foundation of the mission?
Thank you. Good morning, Ms. Nancis.
Good morning.
Good morning, viewers. Well, the Seventh-day Adventist Church, as you know, is a worldwide church. And in Trinidad and Tobago, we operated under what was called the South Caribbean Conference of Seventh-day Adventists. The membership from Tobago was governed in Trinidad, St. Augustine to be exact. And as the work grew, it became necessary for us to improve on the administration. And so a group of laypersons and pastors got together and they started the process, the mission drive, as it were. And fast forward in 2003, November 21st and 22nd, 2003, we had our first mission session. Prior to 2003, we had what was called a region, and it was headed by Pastor Martin Cunningham. The secretary was your humble servant. And of course, the treasurer was the late Miss Pamela Crooks. That happened for 2 years. And as I said, in 2003, we had our first mission session where directors were elected to serve. All right? And we served for 4 years initially. So every 4 years, we will have a mission session.
So what number is our convention on Saturday?
Oh, well, this will be our 20th anniversary as a mission. We started in 2003, so November this year will be 20 years since we have become a mission.
Okay.
Right.
So the body is in charge of the Adventist affairs of Tobago, right? What and who exactly is managed by this body, and how, could we have some insight into how it's done?
All right. Ms. Lewis might be able to help you, but let me just fast forward a little and say, Tobago is run or operated by the executive committee of the mission, all right? Which includes laypersons, pastors, teachers, office staff, as the case may be. So Ms. Lewis will be able to tell us something.
So as Mr. DesVignes would have mentioned, the executive committee, they would be the overarching committee for the, operations for the mission. And then we have, as he would have mentioned, also directors. We also have the committee would oversee the running of our schools. And, we have 5 schools, 4 primary, 1 secondary. We also have the churches. There's 32, 34 churches. What are we at now?
We have 31 congregations. Well, Pastor or President will say 36 congregations.
Right,
all right?
Yes.
Because we have organized churches and groups.
Yes.
So 36 in all.
Yes.
So we have, is it the president that runs the mission, and then under him would be the directors, and then the committee?
Well, you have 3 administrators. You have Pastor Vishnu Prasad, who is the current president, and you have Pastor Martin Cunningham, who is the executive secretary, and Mrs. Karen Hosford Nero, she is the treasurer. And you have directors, and you have members of the executive committee, which would be persons from the various churches who serve on that governing body.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so the Tobago, we started off this interview with the introduction said the Tobago Mission of Seventh-day Adventists.
Yes.
Now it's the Tobago Seventh-day Adventist Conference. So could you tell us a little bit about this progress, the process of it all, and how did you come to be a conference?
Well, you know, as any organization grows and develops, you want greater autonomy. By the way, this is not secession, right? You want greater autonomy. 20 years ago, we started, and the work has grown. And the higher organization, which is the Caribbean Union Conference, we made approaches to them and let them know, okay, we believe that the time has come that we should go to the next level. I may say that the current administrators of the mission, they are usually selected by the Caribbean Union Conference. But when we become a conference, the laity or the constituency of Tobago, the membership of Tobago, they have that opportunity to select all the leaders, the president, the secretary, the treasurer, the directors, the members of the executive committee.
Okay, and what was the reason for this change?
Well,
it's growth. Yes, I mean, growth is important for any and all organizations. So it's important that, you know, when you have these kind of growth and development, that you move to a next level, you move to a next step. So this will be the reason for, you know,
so progress from being a mission to conference.
Yes.
Nice. How often is the inaugural session held? What difference will there be in comparison to the other inaugural sessions that we've had before?
This will be our first inaugural session. Well, yes,
for the conference.
Yeah, for the conference. But we would have had sessions every 4 years. Okay, so every 4 years. But this now is our first inaugural session because the status is changing from a mission to a conference.
Yeah. All right, so who exactly should we expect to be there? And are they different from the other sessions that you all would have had in the past, as this is the first inaugural session, as compared to the other sessions had in the past?
But the other sessions we would have had in the past, as Mr. DesVignes would have said, is that we would already have had our president, our administration already in place. It would just be the election of the officers, the directors, for that would have taken place in previous sessions. But because now this one is the inaugural, because of the change in status, the constituency now has the opportunity now to elect its president, its executive secretary, its treasurer, and all the directors. So that is the difference right now to... You know.
And at this session also, we will be having leaders from the higher organization, the Inter-American Division, headquarters in Miami. We'll have Dr. Ellie Henry, who is the president of the Inter-American Division. We'll also have Dr. Leonard Johnson, who is the executive secretary. He'll be there. Of course, we'll have the administrators from the Caribbean Union. We have our headquarters in Marval, Trinidad. Dr. Kern Tobias, Pastor Johnson Frederick. We also have Pastor Bertie Henry, along with other officials. We will be having people from the diaspora coming in. We have Mrs. Gracelyn King from the Trinidad and Tobago Adventist American Association. We have Mr. Stephen Isaac, who is the president of Trinbago Progressive Association. And other folks from Trinidad, of course, will be coming.
The diaspora is indeed large, very large.
Yes.
So we expect a very big number of the administration to be there, present at the inaugural session on Saturday. Could you tell us on Monday?
Yes, we start from Monday.
So, all right, so let's get into that. The when, the where, what time. You said that this will be held, this part of the session will be held on Monday. So what days is the session expected to run? What times would they be started? And also, is the public invited to look at these sessions?
So it will start on Monday. Okay, we will start at 9 o'clock. We will have our opening ceremony exercises. Then we would then progress into the business part of the program, where you would see reports and presentations of reports for years of service given by the directors. and the administration. And then we go into our evening program where we will close off for the day. And then on Tuesday now, it would be the same again. We would have our opening program. We begin at 9, and then we go through. During this process, whilst this is going on, there has been elected a committee, a nominating committee, who will begin the process of selecting, nominating persons to serve for the next quadrennial, for the next 4 years. So whilst the business meeting is going on, whilst the programming is going on, this will be taking place simultaneously as the reports from directors and administration is being presented.
Let me just jump in here and say that apart from the overseas delegate folks who will be coming in, the church is organized in such a way where you will have delegates, special representatives from the various congregations will be at the session, at the conference session. And they, along with the other folks, will be the ones who will be making the decisions, okay? The decision of the church is usually made by the membership. So a large church, we might have 2 delegates. A smaller church might have 1 delegate. So these delegates will be at the session from Monday, and they will be participating in the business session, as was mentioned by Mrs. Lewis. Also on Tuesday, they will be there. I need to mention that the Chief Secretary, Honorable Farley Augustine, will be at the session to declare the session officially open. All right, that will be on Monday. The Saturday or Sabbath program will be something of class.
Celebration.
Yes, celebration.
So there is a lot to look forward to in that week of events, of course. Yeah. Right. So as we're wrapping up, what impact do you all expect to have on the wider community in Tobago and, of course, the Adventist community?
Before I get to that, I want to let the membership know that we expect them to be at Shore Park Cultural Complex on Saturday, the 25th of November. Come as early as 7 o'clock. We'll be there. We have made arrangement for the membership to come out. We expect to have a grand time. We have a special program for the children. We are catering for at least 200 children. So parents, don't worry. We have a packed program for them.
Covered.
Yes.
So our churches
will be closed. Churches
all
will
roads
be closed.
are leading to Shore Park.
Yes.
All churches closed. All roads leading to Shore Park Cultural Complex on Saturday, 25th of November 2023. And it starts at 9 a.m. on the dot.
9 a.m. on the dot.
And it goes throughout the day. In the afternoon, we have a special program, musical, and we have the installation of the new officers, those who would have been elected during the session Monday and Tuesday. They will be installed. That program begins promptly at 3 o'clock. All right. You asked about the impact. With greater autonomy, we expect that we have to give greater service to the community of Tobago. Not just the church community, but the wider community.
All right. So that is what we have to look forward to from your conference on a whole. And then, of course, we have a lot to look forward to on the weekend. Of course, and during the week for the business sessions. All right. So thank you, Mrs. Lewis, Communications Director and the Youth Director of the Tobago Mission of Seventh-day Adventists, or should I say Tobago Seventh-day Adventist Conference, and Sir DesVignes, Sir Wilfred DesVignes, the Field Secretary for the Tobago Seventh-day Adventist Conference. Thank you so much for being with us. For those of you just joining, this was our Youth Wednesdays on Tobago updates. We continue with Jerry McFarlane, who gives us On the Surface. So stay tuned. Beneath the Surface, my apologies, with Jerry McFarlane and Joel Sampson, right? So we encourage you to stay tuned and share the live, share the live, share the live.